Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Zanto and today we're going to be doing a review of the Tetra Control from Venue Lighting. This is a cool little interactive real-time DMX wash and lighting controller with a foot switch that's available at Guitar Center. You're going to want to check this thing out. It's like $100. It does a whole lot. We're going to unbox it for you and let us know what you think. Let's go. If this is your first time to the channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button. Thought he was going to get away. This channel is pretty much dedicated to finding inexpensive gear for mobile DJs, bedroom DJs, bands, and or home disco enthusiasts. Anybody who likes to have a little fun with a little professional lighting and or sound, that's what we're here for. All right, let's get into this. This is a Venue Tetra Control unit. It's a DMX or wash light controller. It is pretty cool. It's small. It's available at Guitar Center, and it is easy to use. You have a bunch of cool little things you can do. We're going to go over all of them right now. What we're going to do is we're going to open up this little box, all right? And I'm going to stand here and show you what's inside because, I don't know, I don't want to set up a table. Whatever. Now, full disclosure, I have opened this already, so it's not quite organized exactly the same way. The instruction manual is already out of the box, so underneath the lid of the styrofoam, you have the control unit. You have a foot switch, a power cord, and a 1/4-inch jack for the foot switch to go there. So you can control some of the parameters from your foot while you're jamming out, either at your band gig or your DJ gig. Or if you want to put it underneath the desk and make your office look cool, you can do that too. So we're going to pull this out of the box, show you what we got. Here's a nice close look at the control unit itself. The button selections that you have are a fade button, a tap tempo button with a speed control. You also have an all-on, a strobe, blackout, music, an audio sensitivity with a mic on the top, a cycle button, color/mood button, preset button, dimmer, strobe speed. You have your display right here. You notice that you can, this is a little bracket to connect to a mic stand, so you can put this right on a mic stand. And on the back of the unit, that you have your power, your DMX output, your foot switch in, audio input. So not only do you have the audio mic on the outside, but you can have a direct line of audio going right in for better music sensitivity. And you have your 9-volt, 1-amp power input. Now you also have the foot switch, which is included. All right, the back of the foot switch only has the 1/4-inch jack with the supplied cable. And then you have a preset up and down, an all-on switch, a strobe switch, and a blackout switch. The review I did right before this was of the Tetra 6, the Tetra 12, and the Tetra Bar. I have a couple of those pictures right behind me now. If you did not see that review, please click the link below and check those lights out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook up the Tetra Control unit. I'm going to plug in not only those 2 lights behind me, but 4 other lights. The controller works in 4 banks of 7 channels each. Once again, 4 banks of 7 channels each, meaning if you address this, you have to address it channel 1, channel 8, channel 15, or channel 22. Those will be your 4 banks of lighting. All right, and they each take up 7 channels, up to 7 channels. If your lights are red, green, and blue, that's what you already have at home. You can use those. If you set them up for 3 channel, you can do that. All right, so this is perfect. This is a great little unit. They don't have to be Venue lights. You can use the lights you have at home. The only thing is you just have to make sure that in those channels, don't include the dimmer or strobe in those DMX channels, okay? So that's easy enough. I'm gonna show you how this works, and I have different brands of lights here. I have some Venue lights, which you see up on the tree behind me. I have the Venue Tetra Bar and the Tetra 12. I also have a light from a company called Blizzard, and I have some lights from overseas. And I'm gonna plug all of them in, I'm gonna set them up, and I'm going to show you how this works. So I've gotten the lights all turned off. What I have is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 lights plugged in the room. The controller is right down here. You're going to see it on camera number 2. I'm going to take you through everything this thing can do as quickly and efficiently as possible. So just check out both cameras. You're going to see the lights. You're going to see me pushing the buttons, and we're going to go through everything. Okay. Oh, damn. You can see the Tetra Control is powering on up. and you can see in the display that it is reading white. We're going to start off with our blackout button on, and when we do, we're going to make sure our dimmer's all the way down. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the blackout off, and since our all on button is on, you're going to notice the solid color listed up here. We're going to turn our dimmer on up, and you're going to see all of our lights are white. I don't know if that's blinded or not, so I think it's upward, right? Yeah. All right, so we have all of our lights turned on, and all you need to do is Tetra Control. The knob for color mood is right here. If you rotate it, you'll see the colors change, and all you have to do is click, and you'll get that change of color. And you can go right on up through the spectrum. You have 14 solid colors, or color macros. And then you have some static settings, which are multiple colors. So we're going through some lime, orange, marine, lavender, and as you get on up, you're going to see red, blue, and you'll see a combination. The only difference you're seeing here is on the top light fixture. The Tetra Bar has a special setting that works with Tetra Control. On its DMX address channel 1, it actually uses like a 28 channel thing. So you'll see that that will do multiple colors. It will do what the other lights are doing as far as channel 1, 2, 3, and 4, but it's doing it in one fixture. All right. So if we change the moods, you're going to see we have a couple different things. And again, we have 25 different settings, which is pretty cool. You do have full dimming capability. So we can change our dimmer all the way down, all the way up. We have our blackout key, which turns everything off. And then our blackout key. Blackout key also works with the foot pedal. You can hear me stomping on that thing, and I'm going to put another camera on that and show you that a little bit more later. But what do you have also, all right? I'm going to bring the color all the way back down to number 1, which is red. Presets. Presets listed on the Venue Tetra Control are the chase patterns. So what we're going to do is once we switch into either, we turn that off, we turn the all on off, if we select it, it goes into those presets, all right? And you're going to see this one first says color fade, and I'm going to turn that all the way to the bottom. And the first one I believe is rainbow. I'm going to click that. You're going to see a speed sensitivity knob right here, a speed knob rather, in the top corner. And on the top corner, you're going to see BPM. And as you change that, you will see that the lights will start to fade faster and faster. Now you do have a fade button. This is going to be the difference between the lights going instantaneously between one another or fading. We're going to turn that off. And now you will see that your lights are jumping. Okay. Pretty cool. And we're going to go ahead and change some of those. You're going to see spectrum left or spectrum right. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit so you get a better idea of what's going on. These lights are actually chasing in a leftward pattern right now. I'm just going to take it to spectrum right. And with the preset and the color mood, you rotate and you push. All right, spectrum right. So what you're going to see is these lights will follow one another. The first one down here is blue. That one will be blue. That one will be blue, etc. And they're actually going in that order of the 4 banks, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you had that and you crank that up, it's pretty cool. So you have a crawl left, and if we were to push that into the fade button, you're going to see that those things are going to go now downward in that direction because I don't have enough lined up on the floor so you can actually see left to right, okay? It's easy enough. Pop that fade out. We're going to go through a couple more of these. You have Cascade. Pop the fade in. Slow it down. And again, you still have your dimming capability. Okay, so you do have, I believe, 31 presets as far as the chases go, plus the 25 static settings and or colors, and now you also have strobing capability. All right. Before I get into that, the speed, you can change the speed. You can always go into your fade. And with that, you have a tap tempo button, and the tap tempo button will allow you to tap the beat out. So if you know that you're playing 106 beats per minute and you were to start tapping, you can get that, just so you can actually get it started on that beat that you want. Once that's happened, you'll see that it's going to that beat, that BPM right there. And if you were to adjust this now, that goes away, but you can still see your display here, so you can dial it in that way. But you do have your music sensitivity. So if you were to crank that on, you'll see that that button is lit. And as we do this, I'm tapping on the microphone, and the light will illuminate, which is cool. And you can actually change the sensitivity so that you can do this, so that you can do this, which is cool. But if it's playing out loud, we're going to turn on some music in just a second. We'll get right back to that. But you also have an input on the back. If you want to get a little bit of a stronger signal, you can actually hardwire by using a 1/4-inch jack and plugging your music directly into the back. If you have a booth out or something like that on your mixer, that's a good way to go too. But I think the mic sensitivity is pretty good because you can adjust it here, and it seems to work pretty good. But I will play some music and you can try that out in a second. Other than that, what do we have? Here's a good time, guys, if you are prone to having seizures. Look away from the video for a few minutes. I'm going to go over the strobes. The strobe is pretty cool. All right, so you have the button right here, which will give you your strobe. You have the dimmer. Here's your speed. Okay, you can, there's your dimmer rather. So your intensity, or your dimmer. Your speed of your strobe, which can go crazy. Then you do have a few more strobe options. Right here with your preset, you'll see strobe 1, which is normal strobe. You have a strobe 2, which will alternate them. You'll see the lights now alternating between the ones that are actually flashing. And you have strobe 3, which is kind of like a really random kind of a thing. But you have 3 different options with strobe, and then you can also adjust the colors. All right, you want a strobe in red? No problem. You're strobing in red. We're going to take that strobe back to 1, which is normal. You want a strobe green? No problem. You want to go up to some of these other ones. You want to strobe red and blue. There you go. You're strobing in red and blue. You got your intensity. You can change. And then you have those presets, which are kind of cool. This I like a lot. Which, if you had this around the room, kind of give you that more of a random, like, camera flashes going off around the room, which is really cool. So that is your strobe. You can actually also turn that on or off from the foot switch. All right, so if you had your strobe on, you can turn it off from there. Strobe on, strobe off, strobe on, strobe off. The strober. That's cool. All right, so what else can we do? Other than that, you have your blackout, again, which is on the foot switch and whatnot. You can always go right to the fade. You can always go right to the jumps. Easy to change. The cycle button, which is right here, will automatically go through the color slash moods and the preset chases. All right, and once you have that on, you can just let it go and basically just adjust the speed, and it's going to give you a nice show. But it's going to run through each one. I believe it cycles through each one 4 times. So it goes through 4 channels 4 times, so 16 beats or something like that. And then it will go on to the next thing, and it will do the colors and the presets, and it will just randomly keep going one to the next, which is kind of a cool feature. We're going to turn on the music and show you the music sensitivity. Okay, here we go. I got my handy dandy phone over here, and I'm going to turn this up. Hopefully not too loud. All right, we have some music. We're going to turn on the mute. We're going to turn off this fade now. I'm going to hit the music sensitivity button, and then I'm going to dial it up. So it's pretty good. And once you're in there, we're going to go ahead and change our colors, get some fire. And if I was doing this right now and this was happening, there's not much music, I'd pop right into the fade. Turn my dimmer up or down. Music's coming back on? Nah, not yet. You gotta get a little creative. Turn the music back on, turn the fade off. You're back into it. Change your colors. Change your direction. But as you can see, you can have some cool little shows going on. It doesn't take much. And you can always stomp on this. Easy enough to change the colors. And your music's dying and you fade it on out. So that is music sensitivity and it works pretty well. It's nice to be able to dial it in. You could always, you never know, obviously if you have a beat with no music or rhythm going, it's gonna identify the song a lot better, but that is pretty much par for the course with any mic sensitivity thing, but it does have a nice adjustment. So I think it works rather well. Okay, other than that, what do we have? We have the foot switch. What can we do with the foot switch, you ask? Chris, what can you do with the foot switch? So we have a foot switch right down here. And with the foot switch, you can do exactly what it says right here. All on means you're going to take you to your solid colors, which we're already in. All right, so we're on our solid colors. And once you're in your solid colors, you can roll through the presets by clicking the up or down. You'll see the lights are changing. The display is changing up here. Boop. What, you don't like sound effects? You need sound effects when you're doing this kind of thing. Now, if you're to select the all on button, it's now going to take you into your chase patterns as well. All right, and you'll see that that changed right here. Okay, and then when you go back to using the preset buttons on the foot controller, it's going to take you through the patterns themselves. There's the patterns. Then what else do you have with the foot controller? You have the strobe and the blackout. So your strobe is just going to do that. Now, if you want to change the speed or anything, you have to do that on the control unit itself. But if you're, you're jamming and you're in the middle of that song and you get to that big break and those drums are building, you crank that thing on and then you use your dimmer and your strobe rate to follow it. Bum, 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 and then you got your blackout key. Bam! So the foot pedal, and one of the most impactful things I believe you can do from a personal standpoint when I do lighting is the blackout and the strobe. So when you're right into the song and you get into that beat point where you know there's a break, pick a song, any song, but if there's a da 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 dun 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 dun, you got all that control right at your foot. You can put it right underneath your DJ setup, and when you build up that song too, like I said, you got that thing. So you have those moments. You're doing introductions. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Roberts. Boom, you're good. All right, then you go through your presets, and then you change it on up and you go to your nice warm colors, all right? Do your first dance. So as you can see, you can do a lot with this little unit. I like it a lot. The Venue Tetra Control is quick and it's easy and it's very affordable. It's available at Guitar Center. So if you like it, go check it out or go online and check it out. But it's great. It's easy to control. So for people that don't do DMX programming and whatnot, this is a great inexpensive unit for you. And that you can put it on a mic stand as we got shown here. So if you're a guitar player, singer, the drummer, I know who wants to give the drummer more responsibility, right? But you can have it. You can have it at your fingertips and you can go from those nice fast songs to those slow songs just by pushing the fade button too. So I mean, you can take that thing right on, take it right out, crank it up, you know, change all these things, change your colors, do some cool different patterns. What I really like is the Tetra Control with the Tetra Bar. If you didn't see the last video, check that out. But the Tetra Bar, kind of doing its own thing. So a few of those on the side of a stage or pointing down on a dance floor, I think are super cool. Pretty cool as an uplight too. You'll get a few different kind of washes going on with it, and good for a facade. I just wanted to thank Guitar Center for sending me this control unit and these lights to review for you guys. Hope you liked it. I like it. I think it's a great buy for under $100. And once again, thank you for checking out this review of the Venue Tetra Control. Hope you really liked the review. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Go to Guitar Center, check it out, or check it out online until we're done with this stupid pandemic. If you have any questions, please leave them in the links below. Subscribe if you have not. We hope to see you again in the next video. Once again, my name is Chris. Have yourself a good day. Stay safe from COVID, and hopefully we'll all be out there working really, really soon, because I am dying here. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying.